Welcome back to Man from the Mist and my Windows 11 computer build. Today, as you can see, we're in my little cramped room today. Got the monster of a tower sitting on top of a box, a computer box here. What we're going to do today, we've got our memory stick with Windows 11, which was downloaded from the official Microsoft site, and we used a tool called Rufus to make an ISO bootable USB drive. 16 gig that little drive is. Now Windows 11 was 4.6 gig I think, but what you do is you format the drive, you put the whole of the ISO on that drive so there's nothing else on there to get confused. The computer is as we left it the other day. It's got the M.2 drive in, the 4 sticks of RAM, and in the back it has got the power lead and a USB lead to the screen that's behind the camera that we're going to turn you around and show you that screen in a minute. I haven't got screen capture software, so I can only record the screen through the camera. Apologies for that. Okay, but today we are going to try and put on this machine Windows 11. I will not be plugging the internet into it because I don't want it accessing the internet until I've created a local user account without the Microsoft account, because we're going to try and put Windows 11 on here without a Microsoft account. Down here on the floor we still have our box with all our empty boxes in it and what is left of the internals for this computer. As I say, don't throw anything away till we know this is up and running, because if you have to return anything, it's better that you have all the manufacturing packages to return things in. It's easier that way. If you've got all the packets, the bags, the boxes, put everything back in, send it back to the manufacturers or your suppliers, then they can help you sort out any problems. You can imagine if the motherboard in this is bad and we sent it back in a jiffy bag, it's not going to survive the trip, is it? And the manufacturers aren't going to be very happy with you, and you'll probably not end up getting your warranty. So as I say, in the tower, power lead, HDMI lead out, and a little dongle up here for wireless keyboard and mouse. Now let's get set up, let's push the button and see what happens. I'm expecting one of 3 things to happen here. One, we switch it on, we go to a DOS screen, which is a black screen on the monitor with one little flashing cursor light. That's a DOS screen. We could go to the splash screen for Megatrends, and in which case we would then push F1 and move forward to the BIOS. It might jump that and it might just go straight into the BIOS, but we'll see. Let's get set up, let's get ready to push some buttons, see what's happening, huh? So the power supply's turned on at the back of the computer. The funny thing about this motherboard is there are no LEDs on the motherboard at all. Normally there's 1 or 2, but there's nothing on this one. So we're going to push the start button, see what happens. The screen should be showing some signs of life that there is an output from the motherboard. Here we'll go, pushing the start button now. Well, there's a good sign. The fan starts. We'll give it time to run up. There is no smoke coming off the motherboard, which is the smoke test, which means there's nothing catching fire. This may take a couple of seconds, 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Let's see what's happening. Because don't forget, there is absolutely nothing on this motherboard. Screen's coming to life there. Right, let's have a look at the screen. So we've jumped straight into the BIOS. What does the BIOS tell us here? Here's our mouse. Gives us date and time. Today, 27th of June 23. The time is 22:21, but it isn't. That's the incorrect time, but it'll not matter. We'll put that right as we load Windows. Coming down here, it gives us our motherboard, the CPU, the speed of the CPU, and the memory that's installed. DDR4, 2133 megahertz. And here we have the 4 Corsair sticks of RAM in their respective DIMM slots. We can see here XMP, Extreme Memory Profiling, is disabled. We're going to enable that. Enabled. And we see now that's jumped to 32 instead of 16. Rapid storage technology is irrelevant at the moment. We don't have anything else other than this, the M.2 drive here, which is seen here, the MVE M.2 Samsung. Down bottom again, left hand, we've got the fan profile. CPU fan is running at 560-ish RPM, and the CPU temperature 38 degrees. Motherboard temperature 21. That's just room temperature, that. Okay, now boot priority. Right, we haven't got any boot priority because we've got absolutely nothing on this machine. When we plug our memory stick into the front panel of the computer and we reset it, it will show up in this section if we were to return to the BIOS. But we're not going to be returning to the BIOS at the moment. We're just going to go straight through and try and put in Windows 11 without a Microsoft user account. So I've plugged in the Windows 11 thumb drive that I've made. So we should now, I'm going to push the reset button. This should reset and it should pick up that drive because it's the only drive with anything bootable on the machine. So the machine should look at the Samsung drive, not find anything bootable, then look at the thumb drive and find the bootable drive on there. Here's a way. Push the reset button now. There we go. So this should reset itself, should come back up. Couple of seconds, should pop back up and say loading Windows. Let's see. It's thinking about it. It's doing its checks. Thing is, with this motherboard, it hasn't got a motherboard speaker on. There we go. We've got the waiting symbol while it's reading the drive. There we go. Right, let's work our way through this. Get some glasses on and see what we've got. We have got English United Kingdom, time and currency format, English United Kingdom, keyboard, English. Oh, sorry, United Kingdom. So we're going to click next. Install now. Repair your computer. Install now. Right. Even though I have got a product key, I'm going to put in I do not have a product key at the moment. If I put in the product key, it will want to connect to the internet to verify that product key. I'm going to click I don't have one, and I want in here Windows 11 Pro, which is the product key that I have got. Last updated June 21. So this is just the end user license. Check the box, click next. Upgrade, customize, install only on advanced. Upgrade, install Windows, keep files and setting that. We need this one. That is our MVNE. It's the only, and this is why there's only that one drive in there. You only allow it to see one drive. And there we go, copy my files in. As I say, I'm sorry I don't have screen capture. I wished I did. Now we're going to do this live, real time. What I will do though, in the edit, and I'll skip through some of this, you'll see it scoot through. So now the machine will restart, so it can load those files into the registry and the RAM system to get it all running. And I just let it crack on at this point. I don't push any restart buttons, I don't push any switches off buttons. Just let the computer do what it needs to do. Important note here at the bottom of the screen, if you read that, if you want to get into the BIOS, push delete or F2 during reboot. Not when you get to this point, before you get to this point. This is where we'll find out if we can get around the Microsoft account. Just thinking about it, just trying to load stuff and get it all sorted out in order. Yep, shut down again, it's going to reboot again. This can happen a couple of times. You can go through this a couple of times where it just keeps rebooting. Because it gets to one point, then it needs to install another part, another section or another set of files, and we'll just go round and round there. We'll go for a couple of minutes. So now we should be getting to the point where we need to start putting information into the system. Here we'll go. I wish I had screen capture. Right, so our region is the United Kingdom. Yes. This will put the date, well the date's right, but it'll put the time right. United Kingdom keyboard, yes. Do you want to, no, I don't want a second keyboard. Let's connect you to an internet. No internet. Now this is where, this will, you can see down here, your next button is grayed out. Normally Windows 11 will not let you past this position. What we're going to do here, we're going to put my glasses on so we can see what we're doing. We're going to push Shift F10. That'll open up a command line interface, CLI. What I'm going to type into here is OOBE Oscar Oscar Bravo Echo / bypass NRO November Romeo Oscar. So put in OOBE Oscar Oscar Bravo Echo / bypass NRO, and we're going to hit enter. This should stop. Not recognized. Right, so they obviously have closed that little loophole and we can't get in that way. So what we're going to do now, close that. We're going to now connect an Ethernet cable to it and put in a fake ID. I plugged an Ethernet in, and we now can go forward to the next screen, checking for updates. Right, let's name your device. I'm going to all I do with this, I call these after the cases they are in. So we're going to call this one 1000D. 1000D. Then when it comes to networking, I know what it is. Now we're doing a reboot again. If we downloaded any updates during that download session, it'll be installed now and activated now. There we go. Let's get you connected. Ethernet not connected. Yeah, there we go. We are connected, man. You dafties. Next. Set up for personal use. Use a personal microphone, blah, 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 blah. Right, okay. Next. a@a.com and the password. Not rocket science. Oops, something went wrong. Let's try next. Who's going to use this device? Oh, well, we'll put that in as proper, eh? Me. I am going to use it. Enter a password. Confirm your password. Add security questions. What have we got here? What's your first pet's name? What's your childhood? What was your childhood nickname? What is the name of the city where you were born? What was the name of it where your parents met? Oldest cousin. First school attended. Do that one. First school attended. Right, let Microsoft apps use your location. Yes. accept. Find my device, turn on your, no, choose your settings, accept. It's not going to get lost. It's on a bloody table, man. Send diagnostics to Microsoft. Required only. Improve inking and typing. Choose. Send optional inking and typing diagnostics. No. Get tailored experience. No. Let apps use advertising. No. They've changed that because that used to be in a column. It used to be in one column. Hello, getting things ready for you. Crack on. Well, looks like we're doing a bit of business here. As it says, might take a few minutes. Almost there. There we go. Windows 11 up and running, no Microsoft account. Didn't work the way I wanted it to work with my Shift F10, but there again, when you give it a fake ID, it got itself all confused and shit itself. Right, so we've got Windows 11 up and running, installed on one machine, no Microsoft account. Job's a good one. I like that. Next time we'll come onto this machine, we'll just be logging in to the local user account, which is what I like doing. Now, what I'm going to do, sorry about the flare out on the window there, but there's the screen that we're running Windows 11 on. These other two screens that are in the black are linked to this computer, which is my 600T, because it's in a Corsair 600T case. What we're going to do now, we're going to switch that computer off. We're going to wire it to that screen instead, and I'm going to pop it up and run it on that screen there. I'm going to return this screen back to my 600T and get this computer running so that I've got this to work with at the minute. I'm going to leave Windows 11 running on that one for a little while to make sure it's stable. It's got all of its updates. And then what we'll be doing tomorrow, we will turn that off. We will install the second M.2 drive and the hard drive into it. And then we will start and get ourselves some software downloaded and put onto that, such as DaVinci Resolve, Fusion 360, I think, and the other bits and pieces like Putty and whatever. Then we need to configure that to be part of this network. This network is 3 routers deep. I've got my standard router behind the screen there, which is the main router incoming for the house. That piggybacks onto a router, which is a .1 router, and then we've got another router, which is a 10 dot router, which is through the WAN port on that router, which is a WAN port to that router. So we're 3 layers deep with this. Right, let's get this turned off. Let's get this wired up there, switched back on. Let's see if it boots up cleanly. Back in a minute. Right guys, so we've got 600T switched on, 3 screens, couple back up to it. And as I said before, there we have Windows 11 from the 1000D running on that top screen. And as you can see there, so as you can see, I put a code in. We've got Windows 11 activated and running now. Like I said a couple minutes ago, I have never seen Windows 11 before. I don't know where anything is in it. So the next couple of days we're going to spend playing around with that, finding out where the bits are, getting the desktop set up the way I want it set up, and also installing the M.2 and the hard drive into here, getting them onto the system and getting the system accessed into my network. At the minute we cannot see it on the network, which is quite obvious because it's not part of my network at the moment. It's not even part of the Windows Home group, and I don't know if Windows 11's even got Home group in it. So next couple of days, big learning curve, isn't it? Right, okie dokie guys, that's it for this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's been a little bit of a learning curve for you guys. Been a big learning curve for me to learn my way around getting around the Microsoft account, and we'll see in the next couple of days whether we can stay clear of a Microsoft account or whether we've got to sign into something. I'll let you know. Thanks for visiting. As always, time's greatly appreciated. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, by the way, tractor is getting done. There's bits and pieces getting done, but today it's pouring rain, hence I'm in here doing this. I'll let you know what's happening. Thanks very much guys. See you later. Bye now.